As soon as the door closed behind my daughter, a thick silence enveloped the house. My son-in-law, James, remained seated on the living room couch, his eyes fixed on his phone screen. That evening, an unexpected event had left my husband and daughter out of the house, leaving us alone, just him and me. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss these captivating stories that explore the complexities of human relationships. I had always found James charming, but he was my daughter's husband, and I had never considered anything inappropriate. Yet that evening, something in the air felt different. Perhaps it was the wine we had shared. Perhaps it was this unusual closeness that created a tension we could no longer ignore. "Would you like another glass?" James asked, raising the bottle. I hesitated for a moment before nodding. The evening was pleasant, the conversation flowing. We talked about everything and nothing, and as time passed, I felt more and more at ease in his company. His gaze lingered on me a little too long at times, and I could feel my heart beating faster than it should have. Have you ever experienced a moment where temptation seemed to slip beyond your control? Share your thoughts in the comments. The evening went on, and the conversation became more intimate. We spoke of our regrets, our unfulfilled desires. James confided in me that his marriage was more fragile than it seemed. He felt misunderstood, distant. His words resonated with me in a way I had never imagined. Then, there was a gesture, an accidental touch that lasted a second too long. Our eyes met, and in that suspended silence, anything seemed possible. My mind screamed that it was a mistake, but my body reacted differently. A simple caress on my hand sent electricity through the air. A choice lay before me: step away and preserve the integrity of my family, or succumb to a forbidden desire. Reality struck me hard. If I gave in, there would be no turning back. I loved my daughter more than anything, and the thought of hurting her was unbearable. I stood up abruptly, pretending fatigue. James seemed to understand. He nodded, a sad smile on his lips, before getting up as well. Without another word, he headed to the guest room. That night, I understood that some boundaries should never be crossed. Desires can be powerful, but consequences are eternal. Have you ever faced a temptation you had to fight against? Share your experience in the comments. In the end, the moral is simple. What seems tempting in the moment can destroy what matters most. Controlling emotions and desires is a sign of strength, not weakness. A lesson that night, marked me forever. The following days were tinged with slight discomfort. We avoided being alone together, preferring mundane conversations in my daughter's presence. Yet, that fleeting moment between us remained etched in my memory. One evening, as I was preparing dinner, James entered the kitchen. He looked at me for a moment before murmuring, "Thank you for stopping me. I would have ruined everything." I nodded in silence. We had almost made a mistake with irreversible consequences. That was our last intimate exchange. From that day on, we remained distant but respectful. Some desires must remain unfulfilled to preserve what is essential, a difficult truth to accept, but necessary to avoid breaking what cannot be repaired.